we go. So my name is Megan Kruse. I work for the Internet Society, and I will be shepherding us through today's agenda. So welcome. If you don't know who we are at the Internet Society, we were founded in 1992, and we drive technologies that keep the internet open and safe. We're a nonprofit, member-based organization. We're all over the world. This thing is skipping around. We are a membership organization. We have a lot of members scattered all over the world that work together. I really don't know what's happening with these slides. Our members work together all over the world, and there is a chapter here in Costa Rica. And I think some of them are here today. Nancy, who's sitting right here in the front row, can make all of the introductions you need if you would like to get involved in some of the work that we do here locally. We are also the organizational home of the Internet Engineering Task Force. It is the standards body that creates the standards and protocols that make the internet work. And that's a lot of the stuff that we'll be talking about here today. I'm going to talk specifically about our Deploy360 program. And this is where we bring together the people who have already deployed these things and try to help them with the next generation of networks that are going to deploy things like IPv6 and DNSSEC and secure BGP and things like that. So the IETF creates these standards, but sometimes they don't always get deployed as quickly as we would like. And that's where Deploy360 comes in, to try to get real-world information into the hands of these networks that have not yet deployed IPv6, DNSSEC, TLS for applications, securing BGP, and anti-spoofing. So we do not cover everything that the IETF does because there just are not enough of us, but we try to help you get the information you need to deploy these things in your own networks. We have a web portal. It's internetsociety.org/deploy360. It has all of the information that you need. We do a lot of social media. We go to a lot of network operator groups. And we have our ION conferences, which is what we're doing here today. That is the URL on the top, internetsociety.org/deploy360. There's a big button that says Start Here. So if you're not sure where to begin, you can say, I am an enterprise network and I'm interested in DNSSEC. And it will give you a list of the resources that we think are probably most relevant to you. And then you can kind of dig in from there. So there are sections for network operators, developers, enterprises, governments, all sorts of things. So it's a good place to start, and then obviously from there you can dig into whatever your specific topic of interest may be. We also have some tools and resources that are particularly useful if you're trying to get things up and running on your own network, specifically NAT64 check and the BGP at Go6. The Go6 lab is in Slovenia, but it's run by one of our colleagues. So there's a lot of good information there as well. We also keep track of DNSSEC deployment worldwide. We do monthly DNSSEC deployment maps. So you can see the colors are a little muddled, but there's a decent amount of green happening across the globe in terms of DNSSEC. So this is something that we actively monitor and promote and help people get DNSSEC deployed. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we are making significant progress, which is good to see. We also work in best current operational practices. A lot of you may be operators, and you know that sometimes it's a matter of calling your friend and saying, well, how do you do this? And it's a lot of information is not necessarily written down. So we're trying to help that get a little more formalized so that you can find out what your colleagues in Belize are doing or in somewhere in Europe or somewhere in Africa, trying to kind of get these best current operational practices written down so that it can help other networks across the globe. There's a lot of BCOP documents, particularly in IPv6 and IXPs and BGP best practices. So it's a wide range of topics that we're trying to help get written down. This is an ION conference. Welcome. We do these about 4 times a year all over the globe, and we try, as I said earlier, just to bring together the people who have done it with the people who need to do it next. So this is a good opportunity to talk to the other people in the room and to talk to us, go to the website and see, I want to do IPv6, but I really wish I knew how to do X. And we might already have that information, and if we don't, it's good for us to know that that's what you need, because we can work on getting that information. Because if you have questions about it, chances are other organizations do as well. So we are here to help. We are a service to you. Yeah, we need your help. We need you to talk to us. We need you to look at the website. We need you to tell us what you need to help get this stuff deployed. We are available. The other thing that I'd like to point out, particularly since many of you are listening to me on a headset, we don't have a whole lot of Spanish content. We would love to translate some of the content that we do have, which is mostly in English. We would love to get some of that translated. And there are a lot of things that I know are happening in Latin America that could be on our website, but I can't add it because I don't speak Spanish and I don't know what to do. So we could really use your help in saying, for example, I know we have an Argentina Internet Society chapter that had done an IPv6 ebook, and it was brilliant. So we've added that. But it was a few years ago now. So I'm sure there's Spanish content out there that, I just got very loud. I'm sure there's Spanish content out there that we could add to our website that would help you and others. So please point it out to us. We are on social media. Again, it's mostly in English. But follow us on social media. You can know where our next ION conferences are, where we'll be speaking at network operator groups, things like that. Oh, and here today, we're skipping around again. We're using hashtag IONConf. I know there's also a TCAL 2017 hashtag, but we'll try to use both in our social media. This is the agenda for the day. It's also in the flyer that was in your bag. So there will be a mix of English and Spanish speakers, and some IETF, IPv6, manners and routing security, DNSSEC, and at the end of the day, we're very excited because we're also going to be hosting the introduction of NOG Costa Rica. So that's a really important step forward for this area. So that's how we're going to spend our day. And we'll end with, we are all invited to the TCAL opening lunch. So that is how we'll kind of wrap up our day. And Kevin is my colleague, he's here in the front row. And then we also have, well, Nancy just left apparently. We also have Nancy and Christian, who are with the Internet Society, who are here in the region, who can help you going forward. We do have an ION Conference Series sponsor of Affiliates, so we always like to thank them. And that is it for the opening remarks. Next up on the agenda is my colleague, Kevin Maynell. He's going to talk a little bit about the IETF. What are the hot topics there, what's going on, and how can you get involved? So that's it. That's how we're going to start our day, and thank you for being here.